Fear can either make your life or it can break your life. But how? How could something so negative make your life? And if you feel like fear is breaking your life, what can you do to change this? Today we're going to quickly go over 5 things. What exactly fear is, the difference between healthy fear and unhealthy fear, the effects it has on the mind and the body, how you can overcome your fear and live your best life, and of course, how it relates to your own you. First, let's define it. Fear is defined as an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. I'm not a big fan of how they use the word unpleasant because automatically when we see that, we label fear as something negative or a bad thing in our minds forever. But we can see from the examples of some of the strongest and most successful people on this earth that if you actually welcome fear and you know how to overcome it, it can be your best friend. One of the biggest examples of making fear your best friend is none other than the former Navy SEAL, David Goggins. He's one of my biggest idols and the reason that I was inspired to do the 20-mile walk that I did. If you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna put the link in the description below. Now let's talk about healthy fears versus unhealthy fears. According to an article published by medicalnewstoday.com, fear triggers the fight or flight response when in need, which is actually a good thing. Your breathing rate increases, heart rate follows suit, peripheral blood vessels in the skin, for instance, constrict, central blood vessels around vital organs dilute to flood them with oxygen and nutrients, and muscles are pumped with blood ready to react. This is a healthy fear. A valid example of this would be, let's say if you're home alone and you hear a window breaking downstairs and someone's breaking into your house. That will trigger fear amongst most people, unless you're Liam Neeson. In that case, I feel bad for the burglar. But if this happens to you, you can actually call the police, they'll arrest the person and whatnot, and you won't be subject to continuous fear from that on. You might be a little traumatized by it, which you can recover over time, but you're not gonna be subject to that thing continuously forever. Now, phobias, which are an irrational fear, are much different and cause a lot more harm to the body. This is an unhealthy fear. They can actually hinder your life significantly. For example, one of the most common phobias is social phobia or social anxiety disorder. According to the mayoclinic.org, fear and anxiety lead to avoidance that can disrupt your life. Severe stress can affect your relationships, daily routine, work, school, or other activities. So if you suffer from this phobia, first of all, I want to say don't feel judged and don't feel bad. There is help available and there is a way out. But you should know that because of this, you may be missing out on some of life's best experiences and networking with some amazing people. Now let's take a look at the effects that it has on the mind and the body. According to an article published by Jamie Rosenberg at AJMC.com, Mary D. Moeller, who is a professor of nursing and who has a very dense educational background, outlines the potential consequences of fear on overall physical, emotional, environmental, and spiritual health. I'm not going to read all of these listed here, but if you want to learn more, the link is in the description below. Now, how do you overcome your fears? Easier said than done, but the best way to overcome them is just to face them head on. With rational fears, like day-to-day fears and activities, there are certain tips and best practices that you can do every day to help you face them. There's a list of 10 ways you can do this on nhsinform.scot, which I'll post in the description below. But for irrational fears, you can do something like exposure therapy, which involves exposing the target patient to the anxiety source or its context without the intention to cause any danger. This helps you overcome anxiety or distress. Therapists are now even using VR headsets to cure phobias, which I thought was pretty cool. So what does this have to do with your own you? Well, if you live in fear, you can't grow. And growth is one of the biggest factors in finding the true you. And if you can't find the true you, you'll be stuck in this cycle forever, which is not the direction that we want to head towards. So conquering your fear is vital to being your own you. So in conclusion, the way I see it, you could either let fear consume you, or you can learn how to overcome it and live a purposeful, meaningful, fulfilled life. Here's some homework you can do at home. This week, I want you guys to write down your 3 biggest fears, whether irrational or irrational, and create a plan on how to overcome them. If you need any assistance, feel free to reach out via Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button so that way when we release new videos, you guys, of course, get notified. If you guys need any help with anything, feel free to reach out via Instagram. I'll be happy to help to the best of my abilities. And if I can, of course, I'll be happy to provide some resources that can help you out. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Keep your head up. Don't be afraid. And most importantly, of course, be your own you. Take care. But how? How could something so negative